I just want to read you something that I've found. It's at Lee Point. This is where the protests are being held at the moment to try and save Lee Point's beautiful forest lands. It's a beautiful poem that is brought up on the fence here, but I'm looking at it and I'll read it to you. It's called The Thin Green Line by Adam Foster. At the top end of Australia, right on Darwin's door, a patch of unique habitat clings to a sandy shore. This coastal eco-fragment sits on Larrakia land, whose connection to this place is embedded in the sand. The place is Binnyburra. It's a diamond in the rough, a biodiverse jewel in a climate that is tough. Binnyburra, or Lee Point as it's usually known, has largely been ignored as Darwin's urban sprawl has grown. But now it's the key to Darwin's wildlife corridor, linking essential habitat for creatures to explore. Mangroves guard its creek amid paperbark and she oak stands, and rare old growth eucalypts populate its dry woodlands. There's sand dunes and grass meadows, rainforest and cycad groves. It's really no surprise that tourists flock here in droves. A menagerie of creatures calls Binnyburra home, from those that live as residents to those that leave to roam. Thousands of shorebirds fly in from the Northern Hemisphere. They feed and grow for 6 months, then abruptly disappear. Gordian finches love the hollow branches of old trees, sharing space with dollar birds, cockatoos and stingless bees. Turtles nest upon the shore. Kites and buzzards rule the sky, while lizards slink through long grass stalking sleepy dragonflies. There's wallabies and bandicoots, tree frogs and microbats, and rufous owls that like to hunt black-footed native rats. Given this host of creatures, some endangered in the wild, it beggars belief that some would have this treasure trove defiled. Lee Point has weathered cyclones and the wild storms of the wet, yet it seems that greedy ignorance is now its gravest threat. The Commonwealth, in its wisdom, says Lee Point cannot stay. It must be cleared for housing. There is just no other way. So it has set a plan in motion that is half-assed, to be sure, that has scant regard for rigour and pays lip service to the law. Eco-experts have been ignored, its custodians denied, as bloody-minded bureaucrats take a power-tripping ride. This extinction economics is like burning down your house. It's long past time that we demand our leaders have more nous. Politicians must stop touting greenwash rhetoric and lies and bleating worthless platitudes as nature slowly dies. But this legacy of destruction seems not to resonate, for when there's money to be made, they just shut down all debate. Binnyburra is under siege, bulldozers are at the gate. We have precious little time to save Lee Point from its fate. With this moment upon us, here's a question to you all. On which side of this thin green line do your footprints fall? And that's really what it comes down to. Which side of the green line do you want to stand on? We've given up so much. We've given up so much. And there's what I've just been reading, stretching away into the distance. So I've worked all my life for conservation, one way or another. I've fought for the Franklin, I've fought for the Forest of East Gippsland, I've fought in the suburbs of Melbourne on political campaigns. I've fought for Kakadu National Park. My life has been about helping people understand nature and wildlife. I've seen some of the biggest campaign events that you can imagine. I've helped distribute flyers through tens of thousands of people. I've written stories, I've taken photographs, I've travelled the world to try and understand it better. So I do have a lot of knowledge of what goes on here. But I'm going to tell you now, if you want to see this as a place where you can stand, this is the place to be. This is Lee Point, Binnyburra. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. If I'm saying it wrong, it doesn't really matter. But this place here that is behind me, this beautiful place, this should be the litmus test for conservation in Australia. It should, to me, this is one of the most important things that you can ever do. If you're a bird watcher, if you're involved in the environment with nature, don't stand back and let this happen. Please stand up. Write to Minister Tanya Plibersek, because she's the one that can go to her cabinet and say, guys, these people are serious. They don't want this area turned into housing. They want it to stay the way it is. It's not a big area. It's at the top end of Darwin. But believe me, what happens here is something better than you're ever going to see in your life. I invite you to come up here, walk around, see what it's like, enjoy the beauty of it, enjoy the wildlife, see things that you've never seen before. Only 10 minutes from the centre of Darwin, you can see up to 300 species of birds and many other species of plants and animals. Behind me you can see the sign, Save Lee Point. People have stood here, people have gone to jail for it, and they will keep on going. And as far as I'm concerned, the rubbish that I've just read you, that is about government bureaucrats letting this go ahead, is just beyond stupid. This is not for the Defence Department. There's a very small part of about 800, 900 houses here that for people working in defence. The majority is just going to be freehold that people can buy into, and there's going to be a lot of money made here, believe me, a hell of a lot of money. But what is at stake? And it can't be a compromise, guys. If you want to see this stop, you know, some of Australia's top scientists have been out here. One of them is a friend of mine, and she's been out here. She's been fighting this for a long time. She went to jail for it. Another one is a very well-known university professor in wildlife. But there's many of them. But they're not going to change this without your help. If you're a bird watcher, don't just sit and watch this. Do something about it. Share it. Share it around. Write to the minister. Call the minister. Call Tanya Plibersek. Make a noise. Because if you don't, this is going to go. I can tell you that. I've just told you, I've had experience over many, many years about this sort of stuff. It's people that change things. It's people that scare politicians and bureaucrats. It's up to you guys. I'm doing my bit. I'm doing the best I possibly can. I'm just a small cog in a very, very big wheel. You come and join us and be part of this. Don't stand back. Don't come up here and look at Gordian finches and say, gee, I've seen a Gordian finch. Stand up for the Gordian finch. You know, be a part of this. Write to people. Talk to people. Don't be afraid. Share this. With my heart of hearts, well into my 70s now, with a lot of experience under my belt, I'm going to tell you that if you don't do it, this is going to go. As sure as you are looking at this is going to disappear. So, that's my message to you. Please give it a try. It's not going to hurt. You're not going to lose anything except this beautiful place. I'll show you behind me. Behind this fence. Go for it, guys. Give it a hit. See ya.